What up, it's your boy Dr. Baghdad again for another video, and today we're here with To Your Eternity episode 11. Last episode we had a run-in with what we are now calling the knockers. I think that's what we called them. Or was it? Yeah, we had a run-in with the knockers. My dog Gugu learned how to breathe fire, killed him, and we actually had a good ending to that episode. Now granted, with things being so happy towards the end of there, I got a little scared, as you should in these types of shows, because that could mean a lot of things. Like, are we getting prepped for sadness? Most likely. Are things turning a new leaf? Least likely. But it was a good episode. The more interesting thing that happened in that episode was that we learned that Fushi, his forms age, or at least as far as we know right now. His first form aged, right? And I think that's something that we had a lot of discussion about in the last episodes or last video's discussion, about, like, his forms age, blah blah blah. But after thinking it over, we only know that his first form ages. We haven't seen any other form age. Like, we haven't seen March age. I doubt we would really see much of the wolf aging, or what other forms? He has March, the wolf, the boy. Yeah, so we haven't seen those forms age exactly. So we only know that the first form, or his first human form, ages. So there's a lot going on there. Whether it means that all his forms age, or his forms just age really slowly, we don't know, but it opens up the story a lot. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more To Your Eternity or something totally different, the best place in that in is always my social media. Link's gonna be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, or the full-length reaction to these episodes, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Link's gonna be in the description for that as well. We also have Discord if you want to join that. So if with all that being said, let's get our headphones, make sure they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. So I know that there's a season 2. Obviously there's a season 2 coming out. I don't know if it's out already by now. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't checked. But hopefully whatever OP that they choose for season 2, I hope, I wouldn't be opposed to getting Hikaru again, but I hope that the visuals aren't spoilers. I haven't looked at the OP to know what the spoilers are, but hopefully the OP for the next episode, or for the next season, is clear of any spoilers, so I can actually enjoy the music with the visuals and stuff like that. Because the way that some people, I see other people explain the OP, they say that it's pretty spoiler heavy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go. It's not transformed. Oh. Oh. Okay. So he has to stay in that form for it to age. Okay. Right, he wants to experience life, just right. Mirror the dog. A pot. Stone. Ah. Nasty potato. Ah, I knew he was gonna do that. He's speaking really well too. I mean, as he probably would be in 4 years, but he doesn't speak like a robot anymore. Hmm. Okay, he hasn't learnthat yet. It kind of takes away some of that freedom that she wanted so badly. There you go. Yeah, my dog. God damn it. God, Gugu is a fucking beast now. Huh? There you go. Now there's a little bit of pomp and circumstance to that before you get there, but Jesus, what is this about? Drama. Sorry is small to what you did to that boy. Get that shit out of here, bro. It is a little too late for that. Like, you can't just show up and be like, hey, man, you want to come back? Yeah, it don't work like that, big dog. Would be interesting if it did, but yeah, it don't. He gained a family. You've done all that you could. That is, you expect him to believe that after everything? I'm not saying that he can't. I'm not saying that his intentions aren't good. But it's gonna take a lot more than that. Yeah, and Ren's gonna put 2 and 2 together. I gave this ring to that kid. Isn't it weird that he's just working? He's just, yeah, man. Damn. Yep. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. Oh my, ow, ow, ow. Okay, I don't think it's gonna fit. Jesus. But it would make a great wedding ring. Well, you got the ring. You're springing it on him pretty quickly, I'm not gonna lie. Gone with the booze. And now I have great news for you. Oh. Oh, he put Flynn there or some shit. That's hard. That is hard. Oh. Oh, good old Boozman. How do you read maps? Yeah, well, good to know Boozman has a soul. Let's not get too hasty with the whole dying thing, though. I mean, no shit. She is rich. She has deviled eggs. That's how you know they rich. And that thing is hard, no cap. Wait, what? Wait, is this a faux pas? Huh? I mean, okay, I get, but let's remember that she does say that her favorite color is purple. No. Don't you think you should mind your own goddamn business? You ever thought about that? Hold on. So you obviously don't know who the fuck. Who gives a fuck? Man, you're not about to lose Rean to this Isekai MC. Of course he didn't. Man, just gotta pick your balls up. You gotta talk to her. Or not. Works out. Right. Let's. Funny enough. Yep, understanding. Understanding. Exactly. Yeah, there was. Let's go. Why is the good Lord doing this? Oh, bro, please, no fucking way. No fucking way, bro. No fucking way, bro. Why does the good Lord do this to me? Oh, no. No. Damn it. Oh, son of a bitch. Goddamn. Ah. Shit. Fuck. Damn it. Oh, god damn it, bro. Okay. God. Oh, motherfucker. Ah, shit. It couldn't be happy. It couldn't be happy for too long, could it? Couldn't be happy for too long. It makes sense. Makes sense. God damn it. Okay. Here's the thing. So, first of all, we started off by actually answering the question that I asked from the beginning of the episode is that so Fushi only aged in that form because he stayed in that form for he stayed in that form and he never changed from any other form. So it does change a lot of the things that it probably does change a lot of the things that we talked about in the last discussion. But once again, for as I said, first reason is that he aged is because he stayed in that form and he never changed. Second reason is because he wanted to stay in that form, right? Which is cool because that means that he has to live life. Like, he can't just drag these people along, like these people along with with him on these journeys. He has to actually live life for them. And if he wants to, like, he can't stagnate. I think the show makes it a point in the first half of this episode to explain that not only does the creator or the god or whatever he is, not only does he kind of feel like Gugu shouldn't be stagnating, as he said in the last episode, but the show also kind of explains that Fushi, that Fushi should be living life. If he wants to, like, grow, he should be living life for each of these people, right? And of course, he has the time. He's immortal. He has the time to do that for all of them if he so chose. But he, for now, he is happy where he is. And I can't blame him. He's living a normal life with Gugu, Boozman, Pioran, and things are good for now. The problem is that Fushi is not normal, and as much as he would like to live a normal, he's enjoying, I should probably say, as much as he is enjoying living a normal life, he's not normal, and the knockers will eventually come back and try to stop Fushi, as we saw it at the end of that episode, which just sucks so much. Like, I was happy for a bit. So the scary thing is that as much life as he's living, Fushi isn't doing much, and maybe this is just me seeing it too much from like a you must get stronger perspective, right? But Fushi isn't doing much to prepare himself for impending threats, which, to me at least, is also a part of life. As much as he's enjoying his time with everybody, a part of life is preparing for impending threats, because life sucks, and eventually things are going to try their best to impede on the progress that you make. But outside of all that, we also see that throughout these years, Fushi has learned, not only just learned how to speak, but speak well. And it's interesting to see that just in the last episode, Fushi was still speaking like this, where he was trying very hard to enunciate and sound out things. He was still in a maturation period with just his words, his vernacular. But now talking in language in general seems very normal and second nature to him. He's speaking in fluent and like extremely coherent sentences. He just sounds like a normal person now, instead of the robotic way he talked before, which is a good way to show his progress in with just becoming more human. Um, Now on the theme, not theme, Jesus fucking Christ, on the topic of Fushi becoming more human, the problem that I see, that I've been seeing throughout these episodes with Fushi, and the problem that I've been having, I just haven't like really expressed it until I think somebody in the comment in the last couple episodes expressed it as well, and I was like, I might as well should talk about this too. Is that Fushi, like there's a big difference between Fushi being his own person and Fushi learning how to be human from other people. Now, it's all well and good for Fushi to learn how to talk from Pioran and Gugu and everybody. Fushi learning how to cook from Gugu, and Fushi learning how to make things from like Boozman or whatever wherever he's learning. Fushi learning how to do things, like learning how to sew from Rean and stuff like that. These are all good things. Problem is, even if Fushi were to become an amalgamation of every of the people that he's people that he has met and befriended from the time that he was born to now, if he doesn't take all of that information, all those memories and all those sayings and stuff like that, if he doesn't take all of that and not add his own spin to it, but process all of that like for himself, he has still failed to become his own person. He will look a lot more human, he will sound a lot more human, but he won't reach a point of humanity if he can't process all that information for himself and gain a perspective from him, like for gain a perspective for himself, right? There's a big difference between acting like a human and actually being a human. A lot of this episode, not episode, a lot of this show, I'm not saying that it's all been like this, but a lot of this show is a Turing test for Fushi. And at the moment, as much progress as Fushi has made, Fushi is still failing it. So looking at it from that perspective, I can see the frustration, or maybe it's not frustration, maybe it's just impatience from the creator. I can see that why he feels that way, right? Because no matter how good things seem, like, oh yeah, wow, Fushi's speaking English so well, oh wow, Fushi is doing this so well, blah blah blah, he's still failing the Turing test that is life right now. So I hope that I don't expect it to happen in the next episode, or like I don't even expect it to happen like for it to be complete within this season. I simply say that I hope that he strives towards that, towards actually becoming his own person instead of an amalgamation of everybody else, right? Which you could, to play devil's advocate with myself, that's probably what humans are, right? They're an amalgamation of everybody that they've met and learned from, but the difference is that what makes those people human is that they process that information for themselves, instead of just taking like, this person told me to do this and this person told me to do this, like, so I'm going to put that together and I'm going to do all of that, right? And I'm going to run the world through those sets of rules, right? That's what a computer does, which is why all of this seems like a Turing test for Fushi, which he is failing. So there's that. Of course, you know, there's a whole love dynamic with Rean being brought up, Rean and Gugu being brought up, and Rean very much wanting Gugu to make a move and you know, actually save her for a second time, not physically this time, but mentally and emotionally, from the whole marriage thing. Because as we know, as we've learned, Reen's whole thing is that she wants to be free, free to choose her own future, and just she wants to be free from the whole her family dynamic, which does not leave her to do much thinking for herself. Whereas Gugu, a life with Gugu, would give her exactly what she wanted, which is that freedom. So of course we have the hijinks and stuff like that of Rean being like, hey, if now's the time, blah blah blah. Especially since once she turns 16, her family's gonna marry her off and all this other stuff. You know how that type of stuff works. And of course she doesn't want that. But before we get into the nitty gritty of that, because there is more to talk about of that, we did have Gugu's brother show up again. Now, as I said during the episode, I'm not saying that Gugu's brother has his head in the wrong place. I'm not saying that he is trying to do harm to Gugu again or anything like that. Like, who's to say? He may, in 4 years is not a long time, but also a long time in the same in the same breath, right? A lot of change can happen in a person in 4 years, and who's to say that Gugu's brother isn't? And he seems like a totally new person now, right? He seems regretful and all the other stuff. But the problem is that you can't simply just show back up in Gugu's life and be like, hey, I'm better now. Let's go out and live the life that we talked about all those years ago. It doesn't work like that, because the thing is that all those years ago you abandoned him, and though it wasn't the life that he or Gugu wanted, your abandonment was, as Gugu said, a miracle, because then he found a family. He found exactly what he wanted through your abandonment. So while it hurt in the beginning of him leaving Gugu, it still gave Gugu exactly what he wanted. So as far as Gugu sees it, you've done enough. You abandoned me, and through your abandonment, I got exactly what I wanted. You don't need to do anything else. I don't have a brother named whatever your name is, right? And I don't need one, because now I have Boozman, who yes he's crazy and selfish sometimes, but he saved my life. Pioran, who is wise and knowledgeable. She's a grandmother to me, and now I have a younger brother in the way of Fushi, who I can look over and do a better job than you ever did. So I don't need you anymore. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's not that I'm angry at you anymore, and it's not that I held on to that frustration. Maybe Gugu did. Who's to know, or who's to say? But that's not the point. The point is that Gugu doesn't need him anymore. There's no use or want for his older brother to be around anymore, because you've made your decision, and that's fine. You did you you can't, or at least it's gonna take more than just showing up and being like, hey, it's time to go, that for Goo to see you as family again, because he already found it. So it sucks for his older brother, and it kind of sucks for Gugu too, but that's how it is, and everything has worked out so far because of it. Now, getting back into the whole Rean situation, stuff like that. Also, just a real quick thing: the new mask is really cool. Really smart for Boozman to put what I assume is like flint or something, basically putting an igniter into his mask, so now it's easier for Gugu to breathe fire. Before I was like, okay, well, maybe if he like has like a constant like fire source or some shit, but I was thinking like way too technical. I was thinking too hard about it. Like, just put flint in there and there you go. You breathe fire whenever you need to. But getting back onto the rain thing and all this other stuff, seeing going to the party and stuff and being treated different by her people, her peers and stuff like that, I'll call them. As Gugu said, he's used to it, which is sad, but it is what it is, right? The more important part of all this is, through all of this, Rean still has feelings for Gugu, and at the end, they come to that conclusion that we were trying to get to in the last episode, which is the grass is greener on the other side, it does not mean that it's better, right? So it's very mature for Gugu to actually also come to that conclusion by when they're talking about what happened that day, and like, oh, the girl got hurt, like my face got smashed in by a log, but the girl got hurt, and Rean being like, well, that's not much, and Gugu being like, but that was a lot to her, like that, like, coming full circle and understanding that though it wasn't a huge like gash or like a life-threatening injury for her, that was still a lot for her. It was still traumatic, and it was still scary for her. So he has to, like, he's now seeing that even if something seems like nothing to him, it does not mean that it is nothing to somebody else. And we did like a whole conversation about that in the last discussion, that we, I won't rehash. But second of all is that he sees it as him messing up, because regardless of his efforts, she still got hurt. He wasn't able to save her completely the way that he thought that he would be able to in that situation. So very mature by Gugu, but also a very sweet moment, which was fucking ruined. Just so happened that the knockers come a knocking as soon as things were heating up. Things were looking good, and to be honest with you, the red flags were everywhere, right? Boozman being like, it's a shame that I'll die before him. And I'm like, why are you saying this red shirt shit? Like that's what you say, especially that since he's going on like a journey or some shit, like he's gonna only be gone for a day or whatever, but since he's going out, like, you don't say that shit when people are going out. Oh, it's a damn shame that I'm going to die before him. No, because now he's gonna die. Oh my god. So with all of this culminates into the Knockers coming back, attacking Gugu, and of course they would attack Gugu first, because the creator said, the Knockers will plan. They're not in any rush. The same way that Fushi isn't exactly in a rush, the Knockers are also not in a rush either. They're planning. They're making sure that the next attack will be the final one. So of course they would be like, okay, attack the guy that can breathe fire first. Like, attack him, get him out of the way, and then we can handle Fushi. Now, whatever their overall plan is, or where they come from, whatever, honestly probably doesn't matter as of right now. But this is where Fushi, unfortunately, Fushi's complacency is going to show. As we've seen, Gugu has gotten brawlic. Gugu has gotten a better mask. Gugu is now learning how to breathe fire better. Gugu has bettered himself. Whereas Fushi, as far as we know, has learned more, but has not prepared for impending danger. So my fear, as much as I like Gugu, as much as that's my boy and everything, if anything, this would be a good time for Gugu to die. And I say that because this is the moment where, if Gugu dies, now Fushi is going to have to step up. This is what will have to spring. This will be like kind of like the springboard in which Fushi is going to have to realize that, oh, the journey has to continue. I have to learn more, and I have to become stronger myself, because he doesn't want to be. He wants to be able to protect people that he cares about, right? And this is just like a good way to reiterate that which we have in a lot of other anime, where it's like, I want to be able to protect people that I care about. And this is just their way of doing. This is just this anime's way of doing it, being like, okay, Fushi has to die. I'm not Fushi. No, Gugu has to die. And Gugu probably will die, unfortunately, because Fushi has put a lot of faith in Gugu. Whereas, as Fushi said, Gugu is strong. Gugu can protect me. But what do you do when Gugu can no longer protect you anymore? You are immortal. Even if Gugu doesn't get killed here, Gugu will eventually age. Gugu will eventually die, either from something else or just old age. And Fushi will have to go on without him. So I think this is going to be a point of Fushi having to mature, Fushi having to grow up, unfortunately, and there's a good chance that this next episode, or the episode after, is the moment where Fushi will have to take the form of Gugu, which sucks. That shit's gonna hurt my heart, but that's what it seems like is gonna happen here. That's what it seems like. So I'm scared. I'm scared for my dog. It's probably not gonna be a very happy episode in this next one, but this was still a good episode. This was still a good episode. Yeah. Damn. But anyway, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more to your eternity or something totally different, the best way to send that in is always my social media. Link's going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description for that as well. We have the full length reactions on there as well. And we have a Discord if you want to join that. So with all that being said, let me get my phone ready. Y'all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.